HHDG.
Peace, HHDG. We're on another episode of HHDG Media Podcast. And shout out to our HHDG Media crew. Make it happen every week, every month, day in and day out. Skelly Top, Rock Beta KB, the Mayor, T. Smith, and myself. Peace to our Facebook group, HHDG, checking in, and to everyone else out there from YouTube checking in as well. Shout out to y'all. And as you can see on the bottom of our banner, you can go to our website, hhdgmedia.com. Check out the music that we put up there, as well as go check out our merch, previous interviews, and any upcoming events that we have going on. Tonight, we have coming back a dope MC who's also a very health-minded person like myself. I appreciate that. Just gotta dig into that. Señor Kaos coming out of Atlanta, and we also have a little producer who also got some other things we'd like to talk about through his podcast as well. Illustrate, and the two of them together dropped yet once again a dope album in the Kings of Ice Volume 2 this year. It had plenty of work, before that, like the original. But what I enjoy is how well the two of them continue to work together, and we definitely want to build on that. You see, we're going to see, what else they can tell us about, the creation of their latest album and what they continue to work on as well. And we also want to talk about, some of their affiliates as well. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Señor Kaos and Illustrate.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, definitely. How y'all feeling tonight?
Feeling good, man. Long week, but I'm feeling good.
Definitely.
Good to be here. Good to see my bro. We speak, but it's good to see in the flesh to some degree. But yeah, we're good.
As you can see in the back, I came home and got surprised with a little celebration. Got the little balloons and stuff and presents sitting over here as well. So
Nice.
thank you to the family, with the early Father's Day, celebration going on. So, let's start a little bit with Señor Kaos with Father's Day.
Muted.
I think you're muted. Yeah, you're muted. Hold on. You gotta unmute yourself.
Oh shit!
There you go.
Unmute myself, man. Just saying, Happy Father's Day, man. All three of us, man, and both of you guys out there, man. It's a beautiful thing to be a padre out here.
Yes, sir.
Out here trying to teach these babies right.
Yeah. For sure.
Absolutely. Now with the music, have any of them gravitated to what the two of you do?
Really?
I'm surprised about some of the things she's picked up. She picks up a lot. She's been in studio since she was 6 months, 8 months old. So I have her sitting on the studio couch and in her car seat on the studio floor. And she was always around loud music. Like she could go to bed, she'd go to sleep to loud music. Like she's just always been around it. So she picks up certain stuff. Ironically, when Chaos came back, from his West Coast adventures the first time, we got back to work, and like that's the only time she thought that I knew somebody. Like she was like, "You know him?" Because I showed her a video, the old video we had did, And she was like, "You know him? You're in the video." And so when he came by, she thought he was just like a rap superstar, which he is. But you know, she was the only one like to ask for it. Out of all the people that come through my house, like she asked for an autograph. So she definitely picks up. She knows what's going on, and it's real dope to see.
Yeah, mine's too little, man. I got a little baby, so nah, she ain't picked up on the sounds yet.
But,
Now, I was taught coming up, they always tell you, oh, you gotta be quiet because the baby's sleeping. But I was taught, play music, do things around the house so they get used to it. So one of the best things is to play music. So
Yeah,
like the illustrator was just saying, you start absorbing it. So when it comes to your baby, what do you do when it comes to them sleeping?
man, I play music around the house all day, every day. I wake up to music. It's playing when I'm eating, cleaning, doing the whole nine. So she definitely is, man. I try to she got a little ear, so I try to keep her around some jazz, a lot of instrumentals, a lot of illustrate beats. I let her pick out the beats when I get them. All I know I'm working with something good.
right.
Now, let's get into the new album,
Yeah,
Kings of
new
Vice.
album. Yeah. It's here. Kings of Ice Volume 2. The follow up to Volume 1 that we did in 2020. We dropped that and came back 2 years later with a follow up for it. It's myself leading the charge on the rhymes, Illustrate leading the charge on production. Man, it's just, it's feel good music. It's get your mind right music. It's motivation music. It's just good hip hop.
Yeah, this is actually on paper, it's the third album.
True indeed.
You know what I mean? So we did the Chaos Effect in 2011.
11.
Yeah, so this is technically the third album, but we kind of, I think, especially over the last few years, we've kind of developed the sound, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Well, I at least know what I'm supposed to come with, and I know I could throw that alley oop. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a no brainer now. We were kind of tinkering, figuring things out before. I think we nailed a lot of stuff on the first the Kings of Ice Volume 1, but the second one was just a give and go. You know what I'm saying? Just it was like Fab Five throwing half court alley oops. You know what I'm saying? Just catching them. You know what I'm saying? So that was yeah, that was I really love this album. I really do.
Yeah. Nice. It's a great piece of work, man. It's out now. We got some folks on it with us. We brought Elder Sensei and Jay Sinai. My guy Four Eyes was always there on the projects. Um, John Robinson, from Science of Life, um, and the homie Punchline, from New York. So
Yep.
it's good bars, man. Good MCs, good bars, phenomenal beats, and yeah, man. So it's a great piece of work. Definitely proud of it.
And you had the logo done by Flux from Vegas.
Yeah, well, AOS did some
Yeah,
vocals
hey,
on this
yes,
one.
yeah,
The Flux is on the last one. Flux is
yeah.
on
Flex is
volume
on the
one.
first. Hmm.
But yeah, both of those, those are brothers, man. It's Vegas Rex. It's family.
Yeah, we kind of keep these projects close to home as possible because we know the work people put in, and I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the albums out as far as we can, so we want to definitely bring the family with us. Like even if you notice the Chaos Effect, I tried to bring back a little nostalgia with Fort Knox, who's a local host in the city, or national host, but he's one of the home team people. He introed the first album, so I kind of brought that back with having he did the farewell show for Chaos, and I brought that clip back to introduce the second album. So we try to keep it family oriented as possible.
And is it possible? I know. Say his name. Monarch. Well, Monarch Studios.
Yeah,
Shout out to Mud.
I know he did the recording and the engineering work on that.
yeah,
But I know he rhymes too, right? I've seen him.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
yeah. He was on a project. So outside of this, I'm part of a group with my guy 4 Hours. We got a group called Ultra Beats. We had Mud Knock on the track off the Rush the Court album, a song called 360 Windmills. So he laid some bars on there. But yeah, my man is engineer extraordinaire, man. He recorded this project, the first one, volume 1, volume 2 is all Mud. Got his fingerprints all on that. Even our group stuff, Ultra Beast stuff is all Mud Knock as well, man. That's our home, man. He's a phenomenal engineer, and we blessed to work with him, and blessed to get him to do his thing on our projects, man, and just make him sound, the way we want him to sound, and take him to another level. Because that's important as an artist, man. Sometimes you get the beat, you put the rhymes on it, but having somebody that could really add that seasoning on it and help take it to another level and just sound real beautiful. So he is that dude. Yeah,
No, he's a big part of why I really love this album. Because it's like doing work with him over the last course of these projects, it's kind of like he's grown to know exactly how we want it to sound. And like I said, he's a big reason why I love how warm the album sounds, but it still sounds clean, still has that little bit of grit, and it's just everything how we want it to sound. So shout out to Mud, man. I can't big up him enough.
absolutely.
And that goes with what you were saying earlier about the experience of working together with the previous albums and having that experience of knowing how to create a production with the MC, how to put the songs together. Now you got the engineering part with Mudknot, we all know
Yeah,
he's continued to put in that same work with y'all, so it just makes it so
yeah,
much easier.
Yeah,
yeah. It's definitely a
absolutely.
team. Definitely a team.
Get that man his flowers, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. I think he'd be mad if we did one without him, man. To be honest, like he's team, man. Like for sure.
Now, was there anything that was a little different in creating this album compared to the other?
There was anything that was different?
Yeah.
Different.
Um, Man, was anything that was different?
I'd say it was probably the easiest project.
Yeah,
I would say that was the only thing different. It was super easy.
yeah. I
And
think
like I
for
said,
me, just in terms of I guess like creating wise, the one thing that was different was just having a newborn, having a baby. My daughter came when we put out the first project. She came at the end of that. So immediately, kind of after she was born, was really when I started writing a lot of what's on volume 2. So that was different, having kind of made it easy, I guess, in a way as well, because I was just up super late, crazy irregular hours, with a newborn baby around. So that was probably the only thing that was different. I think I was, you know, at a pace where I had to finish things a lot quicker because, you got a little one around. You might not be able to pick that back up when you think you're going to be able to pick it back up or want to pick it
That's
back
true.
up. So it was definitely like when I was writing, it was kind of like, I need to finish
yeah,
this now. I kind of took that sense of urgency into writing. So I think that was for me. I think that was the only thing I can say that was different.
yeah. For me, it was a little easier for me because I'm also a part of there's a weekly beat cipher called Session In. Shout out to Session In Battle Ave. And I mean, you're playing beats every week against monsters. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have 2 minutes worth of beats every week. So that kind of kept me, you know what I'm saying, always making stuff. So I'm able to send him 3 beats at a time, 4 beats at a time. And I know he's knocking all of them out. So it was a thing where we could kind of control the tempo of what was going on because we didn't want to have like 30 songs and have to pick from. So we were kind of keeping at a steady pace to where as soon as we got to that 14, 15, we could kind of start cutting down, and it happened in a flash. But like I said, between him, his pace and my pace, with what we both had going on, I think that helped would make the process easier. And then with Mud Knock, I don't have to record, I don't have to mix, so I'm throwing beats like frisbees. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally easy for me.
Now, speaking of being on pace, I know Señor Kaos, you're like I was saying, being a health centric type of person. Um, with your organization, with your regimen, with your health, how does that coincide with your creation of music and your pen game?
I mean, it doesn't really. It's just more of it's in terms of like writing, creating. It doesn't, but it comes to life when I perform. Being able to move around that stage, being able to have that breath control right, and have the energy that I want to have when I'm performing. It definitely comes to life there, and then I pride myself on getting busy, live, and trying to give the crowd that energy for anybody that comes to see it, right? So I think it plays a big piece there, man. But outside of that, it's just like just trying to take care of myself, so I can be here for a long time, man, and continue to create and keep my body healthy and keep my mind right. And all of those things are important. And I think especially in what we do, it's we don't talk about health enough, and we spend a lot of time uh, even connecting as friends, as people, partying and drinking and smoking, this, that, the third, and it's really important, man, to exercise and diet and just kind of taking care of our bodies. And
Yeah.
for me, it wasn't really anything I wasn't necessarily taught. Kind of as a kid, as a young adult or whatever, but just figuring it out, just trying to do what I can do, doing the best I can, man, to make sure I'm active and healthy. I want to be around for a long time.
Yeah. There you go. Mm. Yeah, I know. I see my father growing up. He was active and he played a lot of sports. And, do workouts and jump rope and to calisthenics. It kind of influenced what I do to this day now.
Yeah.
I've pretty much been working out at home for like at least a good 10 years. I haven't been to the gym at all. Just do everything at home.
Yeah, no, it's a lifestyle choice, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lifestyle choice, and it's all based on discipline, man. It's just like with everything else. You got days you don't want to do it, but it's just trying to stay disciplined on it. But I definitely say from getting out and running and just kind of embarking on that journey. I'm problem on this stage, man. Put your favorite rapper to shame, man. It's not a game.
Now, I'm not a good runner, but I know that you are. So, tell us about the organizations of Movers and Patients and Atlanta Run Club.
Yeah, Movers and Pacers is a run club that I started in 2013. Just centered around trying to get Black and Brown people in the city of Atlanta active through running. We host 170 group runs every year since 2013. So going on 9 years of doing it. It's always been free. And yeah, it's just a dope family. It's a dope family and community of people in the city who are trying to better themselves. We've had celebrities come out and run with us. We've had folks from the love and hip hop and housewives and all that type of stuff come out and pop up and get active with us, man. We had Mario Van Peebles show up one day and come out to get active with us. So it's just a beautiful thing, man. You never know who's going to pop up. And it's just good to see us, through the city when you see 40, 50, black people, brown people running through the city of Atlanta. We always turn heads. People always trying to figure out who we are, what we're doing, or why we're running. That's the number one question. They always think it's like are y'all running for breast cancer? Y'all running for this? And it's like, nah, we running for us. We're running for us every week.
That's great motivation right there. You see a group of people like yourself doing something positive like that. All it takes is those questions like that. And I'm pretty sure you got more people probably willing to join or showing interest just running together.
Yeah, and it's tough too, man. It's running is a thing that a lot of black people don't like doing, don't want to do at all. And I've been cussed out for inviting people. Like people, hey man, I ain't doing that. So it's difficult. It's not easy actually to get people involved with it, but. I hope that by us doing it and continue to do it, that it inspires somebody to want to do something, even if it's not running. Just inspires people to get active, get up, and get out.
Absolutely, it's great, man. And let's switch to another sport with basketball. You and your fellow Ultra Beast, number 4 eyes, did y'all.
Ooh, we got that thing over there. Hey, yeah. No, we hoop heads, man. We love the sport. Love the sport, love the game. Been watching it. I think all of us could say, we've been watching it our whole lives since we can remember. And fortunate enough that all of us, like we're that age, we got a chance to watch Mike firsthand, not on highlights, but watch all those games firsthand and dream team and all those moments and live through that. And so hoop is it's a part of life. It's just I told 4 a couple years ago. I was like, man, we talk about hip hop as a culture, and culture has art and music and food and all these different things that are intertwined to it. So I was like, man, if hip hop had a sport, like what would it be? And it's like it got to be basketball. Just the connectivity of hoopers who or people just in general who grew up playing the sport and intertwined with rapping and breakdancing and everything all at the same time. And so yeah, we decided to make an album just to kind of celebrate that. It was called Rush the Court, and phenomenal album. If folks hadn't heard it, definitely go check that out. It's a hip hop inspired rap album, and it's super dope, man. One of the songs ended up getting chosen for a commercial. We reworked it. It got picked up by NBA TV and opened the NBA when it came back from the bubble. So that was a big thing, and we're super proud we were able to make that happen. Another song ended up on a documentary for TNT, the one that they did inside the NBA documentary. So if you check that out, yeah, you'll hear cut from the team.
Stop playing. Just won an Emmy.
Just on there. Well, we got nominated. We ain't win.
Nominated.
Yeah. We got the project got nominated for Emmy, but literally I just found out earlier that
that's big.
So,
shout out to LJ.
We went to talk for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a track on the NBA 2K22 playlist.
Yeah,
I feel.
And that, man, that was it was beautiful, man. It was crazy. I told somebody that was always kind of a dream. Ever since like NBA Live was doing it back in the day, I was always trying to figure that one out. Like, how you get this? I get these songs on these video games, man. And my homie Jax, rest in peace. Him and Rasta Root had a joint on NBA Ballers back in the day, and I never forget him.
Right.
Yeah, I pulled up on him when that check came, and he showed me what that check was looking like, and it was like, all right, I gotta figure this out. I'm missing out here. But no, it was a great feeling, man. Just to be involved, like with 2K, they update the soundtrack kind of as the season goes along. So we weren't on the game when it first dropped back in August or September when it first came out. But then at the top of the year, they refreshed the soundtrack, added some new songs on there, and then we were part of that refresh. So it's super dope. You know what's crazy is I ain't even played it. I got to pull up as somebody that got the game, man, so I can get on that thing.
Now, Illustrate. It's been just over a year now since you dropped a line Sunday bootlegs. We working on another one.
Well, the thing about the Sunday,
bootlegs.
the thing about the Sunday bootlegs is that they're really all old songs. That's where the title comes
Yeah,
from. So
I see it.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, a lot of things are demos. So if I got something laying around, I may do it. I haven't been 'cause I've been between this album and another album that I dropped in the same month. I kind of just been focusing on those two at the moment. But I think I'm gonna switch gears for a second. 'Cause I'm kind of lightly working on the instrumental album, but I kind of let those flow. I don't try to, force those because they mean a lot to me when I do an instrumental album. It's definitely a snapshot of where I am as a person, as a husband, father, human. So those are very personal to me. So I don't rush those, but I have my head wrapped around the idea. But Sunday Boot, matter of fact, I am about to drop Sunday Boot. Man, I'm playing. Yeah,
There you go.
there's one coming. There's one coming. It's supposed to drop this weekend, but I didn't have time. I just had so much stuff going on. But we're doing. It's just going to be one song, and so it's just going to be a single, maybe the instrumental or acapella.
Okay.
So yeah,
I hit that Illustrate Bandcamp page for
yes,
the
sir.
Sunday bootlegs.
Yeah, I
That's
think
right.
I got volume 1 through 5 or something up there, 5 or 6 maybe. Yeah,
Yes, it's up there.
6. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's like songs I've had that I forgot about. Now I go back and remix them and mix them and reach out to the artist. They might want to add something like the one with Z Rich. We went back and added some stuff, but yeah, it's just like kind of they say don't let your hard drive just sit, man. And, you know, so I'm just trying to
Always, always
make
keep
use of
it
what
back
I've
up.
done. Just making use of what I've done and sharing what I've done over the years.
What I was saying was, and always keep it back up because you just never know.
You know what, man? I've lost so much music. Like if I lose something right now, I wouldn't even like think about it. I'll just keep it moving. But yeah, you're right. Definitely keep it back up. I've learned that. And sometimes the rap gods aren't on your side, but it comes with the territory, man.
And thank you for dropping those instrumentals for the first Kings of Ice. You know, is it
Oh
possible,
well,
later on, Volume 2 might be
yeah,
coming out
yeah,
as
yeah,
well?
yeah. I already got the cover done for that, so
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just waiting. We want to get this out a little bit, but
Okay.
shout out to Eddie Meeks and John Doe because they were like the catalyst behind me doing that. Like they kind of got on me, and it's like, yo, man, what's up?
Need them
So
instrumental.
yeah, so they kind of lit a fire up under me. So shout out to them, and but no, I definitely plan on doing that. But I got to put the words on it, man, because people be wanting to rap on them. And I don't, what I mean? I got to put the hooks in there and the ad libs.
Do like a TV track.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have a mini Kings of Ice 2 floating around.
Yeah, cats be
You
trying
know
to
what I
jack
mean?
the beats, man, make their own joints.
But it's all good. It's all good. If you know how to loop, go at it. But you know what I mean?
All part of the sport, man.
It's all part of the sport.
And tell us a little bit about your process when it comes to production.
Um, it always changes. Every few years as I learn things, as I start to understand, who I am more, it always changes. And right now I'm just like in a very experimental phase. So I've been doing some house music and
Nice.
just experiment with different drum sounds and just experimenting a lot. So right now my process is trying new things and then adding my old techniques to experimentation. So I still want to have my sound. I don't want to lose that because I do get people like, oh man, we need some horns, we need some of that grimy. I'm like, I feel you, I still love that, but sometimes it just kind of boring when I stay in that box that a lot of people want me in. So for myself, I just try to experiment a little more. So my process has been all over the place, like all over the place.
Yeah, man.
I'm
It
sad.
looks
I'm sad.
crazy, crazy, well rounded as well, man. I don't know if people realize that, but like the range is crazy. Like even some of the stuff he did for us on the Ultra Beats projects on Kawhi's album, and, especially like there's so many joints you can listen even that we've done that people are amazed and they're like, oh, that's the same guy did all of that, and it's all it just has a crazy range, man. Like yeah, he got a crazy range. I gotta give you props for that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Like I think one of my favorite joints ever is the Girls Rock 2 remix.
Mm,
That was like 2009, 2010. That's still one
yeah.
of my favorite joints.
One of your favorite instrumental projects, and when you mentioned this range, because things change.
Mm. Yeah, that was a very special project. When I was working on that project, my grandmother passed, and so I just wanted to get it done at that point. And like a lot of the imagery is dedicated. That's the house I grew up in, and so I dedicated like her favorite color is orange, so I kind of incorporated all that in the cover. And I took the project home to my cousin, who was like, he got me into hip hop. He was writing rhymes for me when I was like 8 years old, so he got me into the sport. And I let him hear the project, and we were just talking, and that's how the title came about. We were talking about my grandmother. He was like, "Man, everything's gonna change now. Everything's gonna change in the family, how we interact." And she was the matriarch, and I was like, "Things change," and that's where the title comes from. Just a conversation with my cousin, and so we were preparing to for my grandmother's funeral, and that's literally how it came, and it just clicked and made sense. That project is real special to me. I think I was going through a lot of like, as far as sounds and uh, production techniques, I was doing different things. And I did a lot of that project in Logic, which I don't really deal with a lot, but I did most of that project in Logic. Well, some of it, maybe about half, but that was just it was a different time. It was weird because I don't think about that process a lot. It was just a weird time, but I really like that project a lot.
Okay. You said you don't use Logic that much. So what do you use?
Um, for the last maybe 3 years, I've been on Machine, Native Instruments Machine. Um, I did our first project, the Chaos Effect. We did that on Reason and the Insonic EPS 16 Plus. So a lot of that was on. That was like half and half with that. And then the Kings of Ice 1 was all on Machine. But yeah, Machine is my go-to now because it kind of lets me do a lot of what I did on Insonic and in Reason. So I kind of get the best of both worlds, and I hit the ground running when I got that machine. So that's my go-to now.
Your inspiration in your production, like when things change. Is there another project that was similar? Like it's just something. It doesn't have to be emotional, but just something that just happened to come to be, and then you just went straight to the making music.
Not really. I don't. It's hard for me to put out a beat tape. Like it's hard for me to just take a collection of my beats and put it out. So I have to have a theme. I have to have a color. I have to have something to drive me to want to complete it to tell a story. Like from Friday Night Theme Music, that has a story. Uh, Cool 50 King has a story. Things Change has a story, and the next one definitely has a story. So, I it's hard for me to like if I feel weird if I put out a beat tape. I feel really weird if it's just a collection of beats because I'm like that's what I give to people to listen to pick beats from. So I wouldn't want an audience to just hear random beats. I would want to take them on a journey if I'm going to do an instrumental, piece. So I always try to focus on having a taking a snapshot of where I am and giving it a theme and kind of getting beats to paint that picture.
Okay. And one of the reasons also I asked that is being what you explained and how things change came to be. There's a track that you did before, Dear Mama tribute.
Mm, yeah, yeah. That was on the whim. I think I did that a Mother's Day morning. I think it was just I can't remember what year it was, but it was like a Mother's Day morning, and something just told me to find that acapella and put it together, and end up I made a cover for it and put it together, and yeah, that was weird because I usually don't put stuff out that I just do like that, but that was this came together, so I guess it was kind of meant to be. I don't know, but yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I did.
And earlier, before we got on, we was also talking about illustrate and Black on Purpose podcast.
Hmm.
You are now on episode 99. Last I
Yes,
checked.
sir. Yep. Yeah, we
Had
gearing up.
good.
That was the idea that my man J Fab had. He wanted to do a podcast, and I said, as long as I don't have to produce it, I don't have to record it. As long as I don't have to do anything technical, I will sit down and talk with you for 2 hours. And then I introduced him to one of my friends, King Show, and I would have thought they was knowing each other longer than me. They both pulled up in the same vehicle, um, and they just, they're both anime, Japanese horror, gamers. Like they're both into all that, and the music. So that they hit it off, and we was like, okay, well, this is the crew, and Fab is the man with the plan. So he produces it. He runs the show on the technical side. So that was my only deal was I'm not touching anything technical. Yeah, I didn't have the bandwidth for it.
I like how when y'all do the podcast, y'all always got something planned. Y'all always watching a movie or something.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. That started later, but it's kind of something we just added. So we had the movie of the week, and we'll comment on the movie while we're talking, and just something different because everybody has a podcast. We would just want to kind of give people something a little different. So we
Yeah.
do that. Then we do our Black Hand Side moment at the end where we highlight you know somebody doing something special with their community or just something groundbreaking in our community. So we like to point people out. So
And who thought of the name for the podcast? Because it definitely sticks out. I like it though.
I think Fab did because we recorded 5 episodes without a name and we wouldn't put it out until we had a name. So we just kept throwing names in the group chat, and I think Fab came up with the name. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all definitely have fun with it. But like Señor Kaos was saying, you have a preparation with it with the movie.
Yeah, we
I like
definitely,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I be acting up, man.
What's up?
Yeah. Say
Yeah, I
that
be
again.
acting up, man.
Yeah, you called in before, right? We called you before, right?
Yeah, I ain't never
Yeah,
hit
we
me.
called you. Okay.
But
We
y'all better
might,
not
yeah.
hit me neither. Don't hit me on the spot.
Nah, we got some wild episodes, man.
Um, what else I want to? Oh, the the Dirty Drum Academy.
Mhm. Yeah. Right now, Dirty Dream Academy. Shout out to Lex Boogie. Shout out to DT. Shout out to Tone Beats, who's working like a dog right now. Check out Tone
Yeah,
Beats.
absolutely.
The Lex Boogie's always working. Shout out to Floyd the Locksmith. Shout out to King Out Divine. My man Famous Hayes. Um, I know I'm missing somebody. I know I am. But I love you. Yeah, so we're working on the program right now. Lex Boogie's producing a program that we can, like a platform where we can kind of teach. So we're working on that. We're just going with the academy theme, and I hate watching beat tutorials because people want to try to tell you stuff that don't matter. So we kind of taking a different approach to teaching aspect on it. So yeah, we are working on that. But yeah, shout out to Dirty Drum Academy.
You mentioned King Eye Divine. I've been a fan of him and Science for a while. I've actually seen Science perform up here in New York City maybe 2 or 3 times now. But I've yet to see King Eye Divine.
Oh yeah, he's like me, man. He stays in the house. He stays in the house. I haven't seen King God Divine physically since, I don't know. I want to say maybe 5 years.
Mm.
Like I haven't seen Tone Beats in maybe 12 years.
Damn.
Tone Beats never leaves the house. He never leaves the house. But and I think a lot of us have that in common where we just in the lab. We Lex Boogie, he's always in the lab. You know.
Yeah, I got the pleasure to interview Tone Beats, man. His mind is always running with creativity.
Nah, he's a different guy, man. He's a different type of guy. Like when people see him make beats, you gotta understand he's sending me like 3, 4 beats a day. He
Crazy.
times
You can't hear you.
never anything whack. It's all high clip, high quality, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
The man cooking.
all the time. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Hold on, I think they know.
Now, the new album is currently digital only. Um, I know when I first went and purchased it, I saw that it said digital only. I thought, now,
But
you know,
now,
I know the first one you got the CD version. At some point, you're gonna put it out on CD as well.
probably not, to be honest, man. But want to eventually put it out on some vinyl. I think supply chain is a big issue of that right now. It's trying to figure out how to get something for the right price, for the right time. It doesn't take 4, 5, 6 months to be able to be delivered. But yeah, we wanted to really just put it out efficiently, and even with with CDs, we didn't want to wait too long to get physical product back, and then also just having issues in terms of trying to find new suppliers. A lot of things have been jammed up, the past few months in terms of production and manufacturing and all that. So it just became a digital piece.
Well, and it's way easier to sell CDs at shows, physical merchandise at shows. So
Yeah,
when you kind of take that out of the equation, it kind of limits your platform to get that off.
yeah, that too.
We talked about production process. Tell us a little bit about your writing process, the MC.
Man, I don't write shit to illison them beats.
I feel like that was a message.
If I ain't got no beats, I ain't writing. You know what I mean? Nah, for me, I write at night. I really only like these days. I really only write at night. Um, you know, it's in the day, it's too much going on. It's too much noise. At night, when everything's quiet, everything's still, that's kind of the time where, you know, my mind can really focus on what I want to do with it. So for me, yeah, it's typically like a, you know, 1, 2, 3 in the morning type of activity where I'm just up late, and that's why I'm you know, able to just kind of crank out all my thoughts, maybe things that I was thinking about for the day or, you know, the past couple of days. And that's when I really sit down and put them on paper. But when I was younger, I used to just write, like just to write, as you know, kind of as an exercise of it. You know, even before I had a beat or anything, I would just write. You know, things kind of came to me, and I don't really do that anymore. Now I kind of wait to actually, you know, get something. And a lot of times the beat kind of tells me what it wants me to do on it. Like the song on the album OMG, you know, like the hook, you know, for that whole song. I was just me listening to the beat, you know, listening to the vocal and seeing what it was saying. And you know, a lot of times I would say what 90% of the songs that are on the album, uh, the songs are titled with whatever Illa titled the beat. You know,
I was gonna say that too. I
yeah,
noticed that.
yeah, Illa sends the beat, and you know the beat's called Greedy. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what the song's about to be. So that happens a lot of times as well. Like I take a lot of just the inspiration from the actual track. Like what is it saying? How does it sound? And then kind of really try to craft like what I want to do on it or what I want to say on it or whatnot. Um, but yeah, for me, it's like a release therapy, I guess, in the form of writing. A lot of times, it's like a lot of random thoughts that could be within my brain or just what's going on in the world, current events, life, a conversation I might have with Four Eyes, a conversation I might have with somebody else that sparks a thought and becomes something that I want to, you know, put into to a verse or whatnot. Um, but yeah, man, it's a lot of power just within the music, and you know, hearing the drums and seeing what they're doing, and that influences a lot of the shit I talk.
Mhm. Now you see it, you hear that, you hear a lot of that in on the joint Undefeated. Like a lot of what he just said as far as just like sinking into that beat.
Mhm.
And well, that's one of my favorite joints on the album because it's just like it's a combination of the old chaos I know and the new chaos I know.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? As far as him being able to straight on some murder MC shit, but also giving you little gems here and there. You know what I'm saying? Little life things. Not, you know, when you coming from up, you get married, you have kids, you know, your thoughts change drastically. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've been knowing this man since he was 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, seeing that change and seeing that the growth in the lyricism change, I think is a big, it was exciting for me because I always thought he was one of the nicest in the city. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, I'm like, if I'm going to dedicate my time, I'm not dedicating my time to make beats to stand in line for placements for rappers that don't know me or, you know, might pick a beat where I know, you know, he really gets down with me. You know what I'm saying? We really get down together. So I'm gonna put my all into that. And you can hear it. I think on this album you really hear like two people sharp at what they do and they really have chemistry with each other. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 1000%.
So, yeah. I mean, when I listen to it, you spot on with that. You know, you can tell. You know, both of you with your A game all the time,
Yeah.
and with Vintage Imperial. That's where I remember you from. That's how long I've been listening.
Oh man, you going back.
You
You going way back.
So you know,
keeping the covers.
Way back. Yeah,
yeah,
that was coming into adulthood, man. To keep it 100. You know, we started doing that stuff when I was in high school. So that was, you know, 16, 17, 18, 19. That was, you know, those years. Just having a passion for, you know, having a passion for rapping, but trying to take over the city and get your name out and battling other MCs to show and prove and show your worth and all those different things. So yeah, it was a foundation for I think the business as well, like kind of understanding independent situation. Like that was my first vinyl, kind of came through that situation. My first opportunity for working with a distributor came through that situation. First time getting music overseas, going overseas, came through that situation. So it's a foundation for sure.
I want to ask Chaos this. Now, do you remember how we met? You about like one of the only people I remember exactly how we met.
Do I remember exactly how I remember, man, I remember listening to the radio, hearing the Brody Champs joint and Ozzy joint, I think. Um, and I called the radio station. I called 88.5 in Atlanta. And I remember Reese was there, and I was like, "Yo, what's this?
Yep,
Who is behind these beats?" And he knew you.
yep.
So yeah, he was the one that was like, that's Illustrate. And I feel like he gave me your number.
Yeah, no, he called me and said, "Hey, Chaos called to ask for your number," and I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And you came to my sister. I live with my sister. You came to my sister's house to pick me up.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I remember that, man. Just I mean, you had that sound, man. You had that sound out, even that many years ago. I remember when I heard those beats, it was definitely like it was just it was a breath of fresh air. It was different.
yeah.
It
And
was
I
that
was
thing.
tripping. You had that hunger. Like this man called the radio station, got my
right.
man, hit me up. Where you at? Came to my sister's house. Get in the car. Yo, roll with me, and we ended up riding around all day. I think we met little brother that day. We met Jazzy Faye. And he just had me running around all these places. I was like, man, who is this young dude, man?
Yeah,
And once he see,
that's that young energy, man. I don't think I get at nobody like that no more. But that was that time, man. I was out and active.
no, he definitely was active, man. Still to this day, like as soon as he came back, we were like, it's on. You know what I'm saying? It was just like that. Like, yo, I'm back. It's on. And we put it together.
That's a
Hell
great
yeah.
story right there, man.
Yeah, nah, that's all true story, man. But I mean, that's the beauty of just college radio, community radio, college radio
Mhm.
that play stuff. I mean, it helps you to discover things, discover
Yeah.
artists, discover producers. Even still, I listen to shows that play our project, our music on, and I might hear something on who is that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
New MC that I never heard of, or maybe it's a producer that's behind some stuff that I never heard of. We need these platforms to kind of help us, discover these new things and get this stuff heard. But yeah, man, it's man, that just made me realize how long we really known each other, man.
Yeah,
These
that was
years
like
is blowing by.
maybe 2003, 2004.
Yeah, these years is blowing by. We going on 20 years out here.
Yeah, man. For real.
Speaking of people that you've known for quite some time, how long have you known Yamin Somali?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Man, since I was in high school.
Mm.
Yep. Yeah, y'all around the same age, yep.
Yeah, he a year younger than me. So when I was like sophomore, he was a freshman. Yeah, we connected in high school. We were the youngest young brothers that were out in the city, doing shows, hitting the open mics, the whole nine. So yeah, we go way back.
Yeah. I think 2006 maybe? 2006 or 7? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of people I just go back as far as in the city with just coming up and trying to figure things out. But yeah, man.
straight production. You new track. We're back with Mark. Come over.
Okay, yeah. I actually, it's funny because I called Mark. He sent me that song, and he sent me another song. I sent him a couple of joints. He sent me back a couple of songs, and 'cause I met him through one of my good friends, Brian Price. He brought him over to the lab, and I was always familiar with who he was, and he was familiar with who I was, but we never sat and talked or nothing like that. And I sent him a couple of beats. He asked me, send him a couple. He sent me songs, and I was like, oh man, I apologize. Man. I didn't know like he was really on that. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of shocked me, and I had to apologize to him. But yeah, man, it's a dope joint. That was co-produced by one of my homies, Famous Hayes. I didn't get a chance to get that on the credits, but yeah, that was me and Famous Hayes cooked that up, and but yeah, we got some more stuff, man. We got some more joints.
And another artist you've been working with that I know is Louis Price. That was a name I wasn't too familiar with, so I definitely checked it out.
He's a new guy to the city. You know, he just really moved to Atlanta. Um, but he's the guy. His cousin Brian Price is the one who introduced me to Backwood Mark. But that's why I met him because he was working on the song with him for one of our sessions, and Backwood Mark came through. And but yeah, man, that guy, man, he reminds me a lot of Chaos as far as being ready. You know what I mean? Like coming to the lab, you know, the pick a beat, yeah, I want that one. Let me get in the booth, and this is done. You know, like there's many people that say they can rap. There's not a lot of people that do that, and I'm blessed to know a handful. Like I know a lot of people that can rap and say they rap and say they're very good at it, but until you come over with no pad and pen and you got 2, 3 verses and your hook ready, and we don't have to stop, and we only do the takes because you want to redo them. Nah, I don't put you in that bag, man. But he's one of those guys.
And it's a lot of shooters out there, man. Everybody ain't Billy the Kid though.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That
That
sounds
is
like
a
a
fact.
rhyme right there.
Yeah, now that's a fact.
Now, before I ask um, what's your favorite track on the album, Illustrate, you mentioned Undefeated. My favorite is Nobody Wins.
Mm.
What's yours?
Man, a couple months it changes. I think Nobody Wins was probably one for a while. Right now it's probably doing better though. Um, but yeah, man, it's it's tough, man, because they're all extensions of like thought, extensions of creativity. So you're in love with everything that's there. I'm in love with everything that's there at least. But I say to answer that question today, like right now, I'm gonna probably say doing better is feeling like my favorite.
Yeah, I think whatever. I love whatever. That's my joint.
Yeah, nah, that was one for a while, man. Yeah, it's whatever was one for a while, and Nobody Wins was one for a while.
Yeah,
Told y'all one.
It changes.
Yeah, it
It
do
changes so
change,
much.
man. It
That's
do
why I
change.
know I really like this album because it changes. You know what I mean? Like it could be greedy. I can run greedy back. Once I get on that, just start running it back. I can run OMG back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just I get caught in the mood because there's stories to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just get caught in the mood and I just run one back. And I listen to the
Yeah.
whole album, but
yeah.
this
Even
is
like a month ago, if you asked me that question, I probably would have said New Tricks. Like it's just it changes so much just based on what I'm doing at the time of the move. But man, there's like I feel like I I definitely have like joints on the album that I just continue to go through and run them back, like while I'm running or while I'm working out or just driving somewhere. It might be something, uh, Born to Win might just I just want to hear that, and then I'm playing it 4, 5, 6 times in a row, just just vibing off of it.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause when the album first came out last month, doing better and drawing the line with the two tracks that I kept repeating while I was playing the album. I had to put them on repeat, but Nobody Wins. That's the one that keeps sticking with me.
Yeah, and I think compared to the last album, like we didn't bump heads on any. Keep this one, take that one. This was like, yeah, yep, 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 yep. Like it was, yeah, man. It was. Like I said, this album was more in sync, and that's happened a few times with me because I do artist producer albums, or vocalist producer albums, and this is one of the ones. The volume two is one of the ones that's up there in my favorites.
When I love to see progression in music and the cohesion, the chemistry that artists and producers or a group or a duo have, and that's what I appreciate when I listen to the albums that you put together. Kings of Ice, the first one, and the second one, and also just that I've listened to Señor Kaos for so long, and to hear from back then to now, you get to appreciate an artist more when you go back to listen to their older music, and then you start to progress through the years and the projects that you released. And then, oh yeah, you see certain differences, and you see where okay, he stepped it up right here, and the way this track just flows. Damn, listen to that story on this one. It's dope to have that feeling when you're listening to music. But sometimes a lot of artists they're repetitive, and you don't see any elevation in them.
Yeah,
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 no, that's very true, man. And it's like for me, the past couple years, man. I think the pandemic actually kind of helped because we were able to really just everything was blocked out, everything's closed, right? So all you got is music to focus on and think about it, take time to craft, and made a lot of music like in the past 2, 3 years. Um, just especially that, like for me, it's like this new run, like this new catalog is great music. I think it's some of my best work, some of our best work, and I can't even go back and listen to some of the older stuff. Like I'm just so impressed with the stuff I'm making now. I'm glad with how my thoughts are coming across, how my ideas are coming out. Um, Even just the wittiness. I'm glad I'm catching people off guard a little bit by some of the things that's coming out of my mouth. And yeah, it's an exciting time.
yeah. And it's dope to even be able to say that. You talk about doing music for 20 years, not doing music, but releasing music for 20 plus years, and to say the stuff you did a few months ago is your best work.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's as an artist, that's you eating your spinach. You know what I mean? You're doing everything it takes to stay on point. Point because there's a lot of people who've been doing music for 20 years that can't say my latest one is. I feel confident that my
Yeah,
latest one was some of my best work.
yeah, yeah. It's just surprising. I think to me, like sometimes I got a line on the album. I said, man, when I write rhymes, I go blind and let the Lord do His thing. And I talked about that earlier, just in terms of how like the beats are a lot of the inspiration, and stuff just kind of spills out. But when I go back and listen to cuts, like even like you say, Nobody Wins, the way I start that, I'm like, yo, check on your people, because I was going through a lot of shit during that time, right? So it's like a lot of the stuff that comes out, and even across other songs, it's just I listen back and I'm like, damn, what was I thinking when I wrote that? Like, what was my mind at? Where was I even at? And sometimes I can't even remember. It's just, whatever I was on in the moment, it spilled out and it sounded right and came together. So it's beautiful just to kind of go back and listen to stuff. Be like, damn, hit it with that line. Or, you know what I mean? It's 4 bars right here. These 16 right here. Like I did something nice with that one.
And my last question for the two of you: what is something about the album that us fans might not know about?
Oof. Something about the album that folks might not know about. Well, to be honest, I think maybe one is that we were apart for a lot of it. We did
Yeah,
a
we
lot of
didn't.
things.
I
We
don't
did
think we didn't record anything together for this
nah,
album. No.
no, we didn't because it was the end of 2020. Like December 2020, I think we really start kind of going in on it and starting to record things. I just had the baby. It was COVID, stuff going on and all that. So yeah, we weren't really in the studio kind of at the same time working on things. It was a lot of digital. There was sent joints, and I get them right to them that I can, knock things out. And we were just doing like a lot of file sharing back and forth. We were in the same vicinity, in the same city, but that's just kind of how it worked out. And actually, might have been something to our benefit because we were just able to kind of move a little quicker,
You have to
versus
schedule time to
yeah, trying to align
make
on
conflict
schedules.
schedule. Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely advantageous, man, and Mudnot was a big piece of that. He kept his lab open, the whole time. He limited, kind of who was coming through his lab, during the whole pandemic, but he kept it open. And me and 4 Eyes especially were like, all right, you keeping the lab open? We in there, so we were literally like finding shit that we were trying to find beats to record just to like continue to stay in the lab like during that time and continue to knock out stuff.
Yeah. I would add, we didn't take a break between this first album and the second album. First Kingdom Hearts. No, we didn't take a break.
Nah,
I think we had maybe two or three in the can while we were shooting videos for he had beats writing to stuff while we were shooting videos for the Ultra Beast
first,
project.
yeah,
And we didn't stop. Like we just I saw where we were going, and on my end I just wanted to get better. But I knew he would, pick up on that end. But we never took a break. It was like that album's done. Like it was Sensible Beats. So it's literally an extension. So that's why it kind of flows the way it does because it was just a straight stream. Like we didn't stop and take a break, and I think we were in the groove. So. But yeah, we didn't stop at all.
Great work, thank you.
Oh,
Great
and
work.
4 Eyes wanted us to name the album. I said that.
What was that saying again?
4 Eyes wanted us to have a name for the album. He didn't want us to call it
Oh,
King of My City.
yeah, yeah. My boy was adamant. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna call it Volume 2." Nah, man, you gotta
Yeah,
call it something different. But yeah, one of the reasons I was kind of like firm on that as well was just like, I understand the discovery element of what we do and how that there's going to be somebody that hears this project that has no idea that there was a volume one. And I really wanted the opportunity for, for somebody just to have those two things connected. So people could hear it and say, if you catch volume two, it's automatically, if you like it, right? What's volume one doing? Boom. Now you can go back and check out that volume one. So,
just create that brand. 'Cause we're in that era. We're in that branding era. And no such thing as old music. So, like you said, somebody discovers it, it's all new. So we just wanted to kind of keep everything in that aura.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to 4 Hours, man.
Shout out to 4 Eyes, man.
Yeah,
No, because he's really like an A&R. A lot of people don't know like how his brain works. He's very much like a coach.
yeah,
And a lot of those little nuances that you hear in the hooks, that's 4 Eyes. Like a lot of those little things you hear is kind of quirky or something just sticks out in the hook. That's 4 Eyes. And those little things, man. It makes the whole team sound great when everybody adds what they do best. And he points out a lot of things, man. Shout out to 4 Eyes, man.
yeah. Fours. I call him Phil Jackson, man.
Yeah,
He's
for
a sim
sure.
master for real. Like
100%.
he's a true visionary, man, and just know how to pull a lot of pieces together, man. And that might not, that might be something folks don't know. Like this, his
No, he's like the third wheel in this King's Advice thing, man. Because a lot of those hooks, a lot of those songs, a lot of the arrangements, that's 4 Eyes.
all day. It's my brother.
Yeah,
Shout out to Paul. Oh, Izzle.
yeah, man.
I appreciate y'all taking the time.
Yeah, man. We appreciate being here.
Everyone,
Absolutely.
if you haven't, go listen to King's Advice Volume 2. And like they just said, and you're going to check the back catalog of more dope music.
Yes, Lord.
Definitely. The platform is yours. Give you shout outs.
Yeah, kingsofvice.com. Kingsofvice.com to take you right to the album. It's on all streaming platforms, but of course, we appreciate that support on Bandcamp because it supports artists directly. We got merch as well, t-shirts, ultrabeastunited.com. Catch all that in the merch store. Uh, appreciate your support. Thank you for having us. Hope folks enjoy the album. Uh, if you're not hip to Ultra Beast, check out Ultra Beast as well. That's a group between myself and 4 Eyes. We got 3 projects out right now. United, Rush the Court, Put Your Teeth on It. So there's 3 other albums that, if you like what you're hearing on this Kings of Ice stuff, you can go back and catch those as well. Yeah, shout out to Illustrate, like you said. Shout out to Mud Knot. Shout out to DJ Danger and DJ Mafioso because they lace cuts on the album, the cuts that you hear with them. And shout out to Punchline, Jay Sinai, Elder Sensei, John Robinson, AOS. Everybody who lent their time and energy and creativity to making this project.
Shout out to Flux who won the bet on the logo. Binkish Rex. And the dope Kings of Ice logo that you see, that's my man Flux.
Yes, sir. That's all I got. It's on you, Illa.
Yo, you can follow me at illustrate underscore on IG, Dirty Drum Academy on IG, and at W underscore C underscore music. It's working class music. It's my imprint. We release music through there. New album out with Louis Price as well. So if you follow me on IG, just go to my bio and you'll see everything I just said.
Thank you. And once again, continue support. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you, brother.
DG Media. I'm going to say peace. Happy
Peace,
Father's Day.
peace.
Happy Father's
Happy Father's Day.
Peace and love, everybody.
Peace.